What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Contractor Secrets Podcast. We have a awesome business breakthrough today. I sit down with Max Bengston, and he is a painting contractor in Massachusetts, and he wants to come out of the gate fast. And we really hammered out just a really good startup strategy to build the foundation. It was a great conversation. I think he got a lot out of it. I got a lot out of it. It was awesome. And I think you're going to get a lot out of it too. Just want to thank you for listening to the Contractor Secrets Podcast and for your support. You are awesome. So enjoy this business breakthrough, and it starts right now. The big question you need to ask yourself every day is, do I own a job or do I own a business? And unfortunately, the majority of contractors out there own a job. That's right. They're a slave to their own business. But the other side of the fence is so much greener. It's so much better. And that's when you're finally fully in control of your destiny, your freedom, your time. And that's what Contractor Secrets is about. It's about taking back our time, building a business with systems, standards, values, procedures, putting yourself in the driver's seat. And that's what it's about. So I'm excited. I'm happy to have you here. Let's dive into the Contractor Secrets Podcast. Awesome, dude. All right. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Business Breakthrough. I got Max Bengston here with Bengston Painting Services up in Mass. Bringing it, man. One thing that stood out to me, this guy put out on our Facebook group that he just wants to succeed. You put it out there, man. I love that, man. I love the energy, the excitement. And you're one of our newest Dripjobs customers. What do you think about Dripjobs?
Love it, man. Game changer.
Awesome, dude. Game changer. Cool, bro. All right, so let's hammer it out. Typically, when I start these, I just like to ask what's going really well, and what's an area that you'd really like to focus on today.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for having me. So what's going really well is the fact that I'm building kind of a foundation of my community through one of my Facebook pages, my business Facebook page.
Okay.
And business is going well for the time being. What I could improve on is, I want to get 2 employees. I want to build the business a little bit bigger. And I want to prevent myself, I guess you could say, from using my paintbrush as much as I do right now.
Have you ever hired anyone before? Do you have any experience hiring people?
No, I don't have any experience hiring people, but the contractors that taught me personally how to paint, they work with me sometimes. We kind of barter work. So I'll do, say, 3 hours for free with them. I'll help them out and they'll come and do 3 hours with me. So that's only...
That's a great gesture. Good for obviously it's
temporary
thing. Yeah. Great. I think it's cool. And it sounds like they can be great mentors for you, which I think they have been at that point, in terms of, just the skill set. Cause you come from a sales background, right? What was your background again?
Well, it was Suffolk. Are you talking job related or university?
Yeah, job related. And then university. You could say both.
Yeah. So I went to Suffolk University in Boston. I was studying business management. Other than that, I don't have the largest sales background. It's just through my business, selling myself.
Okay, cool. So let's kind of hammer out some foundational things. I know we talked that you were getting a website. Website isn't going to do anything right now. No one's going to go to your website. I mean, unless it's just to get a quick way to get to your phone number, to just prove to them that you're legit enough for them to give you a phone call.
Yep.
So the website, that nothing's going to change with that. I know we talked about the business phone number. Nothing's going to change with that. No one's, you don't have signs out right now. You don't have things that people are actually just going to, like, as soon as you get that business phone number, no one's going to call it, So it's just going to take time for that, for that to be nurtured. Okay. So a couple principles I want to hit on with you right now would be, number one, is understanding hiring, because you've got to learn that aspect of business first. Marketing is worthless without sales, and sales is worthless without production, and production is worthless without hiring. And to me, if you're doing the production right now, what I've seen, and I'm not saying that's you, because you're very motivated and you seem very eager to, grow and all that stuff. But what I've seen is, unless you dig your well before you're thirsty in terms of hiring, once those things kick in, that marketing, and then you start selling jobs, then you're going to start doing them, and you're not going to have time to focus on hiring. Which probably, isn't something that's a major priority right now, because you're thinking, well, I don't have to work right now to take on someone full time. Is that a thought that might come through at this point in time? Have you thought of that?
Yeah, a little bit, but, kind of to backtrack a little bit right now, Tanner, it's like, I wear all the hats, man. So it's like I wake up, I paint, I do all my bookkeeping, I do all that stuff. So in some cases right now, this is good because I don't even have time to hire right now. So talking right now to make some time to be able to do that is great. So
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Well, we got to have, and listen, the rule of a successful business owner is to create a system for everything, whether
yeah,
the system is good or bad, bro. Like the system can suck. The purpose of a system is to run it and perfect it, right?
yeah,
And
I
the
agree.
worst thing that we can have is absolutely no system, right? So if we have no system for marketing, like if we have nothing to where we can pull a lever and get some sort of results, then
Mhm.
we're going to fail in marketing. And if we fail in marketing, we fail in sales because we don't have enough repetition to create a system in sales. You can't
Yeah,
create a
good, yeah,
system in sales unless you have opportunity. And then in other words, when it comes to production, we're going to fail at production if we don't have a system for hiring, because we need reps in terms of learning how to interview, learning how to vet, learning how to maintain and manage people.
yeah.
You need reps. Like that is what you should focus on for this next year. Like
Okay,
you shouldn't care how much money you make. You shouldn't care about, anything other than putting systems together for the four-headed monster. Okay. You already
all
got a
right.
system for administration, which is Dripjobs. We went over that the other
Yeah,
day. So you're
awesome.
good
Yeah,
there. But we're talking about the four-headed monster, man, is production, sales, hiring, and marketing. Okay. And that's a year's worth of hustle just putting systems together for those things. And when I look at your situation right now, the focus has got to be, let's focus on putting together a system for hiring. Now, a system for hiring is more than just how do we hire? Okay, that's not how it works, because we've got to identify, number one, who are we going to hire? How
yeah,
hard is it going to be to get those individuals into our business and producing adequate work? Okay. And what are they going to be doing when they come into our business? So here's the thing, you know, Bengston Painting Services can mean a plethora of things. It can mean, hey, we're Bengston Painting Services. We do cabinet refinishing. Hey, we're Bengston Painting Services. We do wallpaper removal. We do popcorn removal. We do drywall repair. We do freaking, we'll go pick up your groceries.
yeah,
It can
yeah.
mean so many different things. And the thing about it is you've got to have enough, I would say, you've got to be focused enough. You got to put the blinders on enough to say, okay, we do this and this really, really, really well. And that's all we do. Okay.
Okay,
Because that's, again, something that you're going to fail if you don't have that mindset. Okay. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen. Let's say you put together this system of hiring and you find two really good employees. And
hmm,
then you create a really good system of production, which means those two employees can produce really good work while you go out and you sell the jobs. And then you fail at marketing. You say, you know what? I don't want to pay someone to market for me. I don't want to pay someone to do this. I'm going to try to do it on my own because I like to save money instead of make money.
yeah.
Okay. That is the employee mindset. I like to save money instead of make money.
Tanner, to be honest with you, I mean, I do like to save money right now, and you know what I mean. So you just hit it right on the head. It's like
Well,
put
you
aside
you were
saving money.
crazy enough to start your own business, dude. So you're
Yeah,
already a risky, crazy individual. Crazy
yeah,
enough to give up some of what you saved in order for a greater return.
mm,
It's the recycler. You have to do it. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
Like, you've got to spend the money. Early on, it's the hardest, bro, because there's so much uncertainty. I have reference points when I spend money. That's the difference. But
yeah,
I had to go through it. I have the reference points to know, hey, if I spend this much in this area, remember the reps. I have reps. So
yeah,
I know if I spend this much in this area, I will convert this many leads. If I convert this many leads, I will sell this many jobs. If I sell this many jobs, we'll produce this much work. I'll make this much money. I have the reps. You don't have any reps. That's why it's really hard for you to say, I'm not spending $2,000 on a marketing company to
correct,
bring me leads. That's insane.
agreed.
I only have 4 grand in the bank. That's half of what I have, or whatever it is, and whatever that mindset is, you
Yeah,
know. So getting back to the blinders, and I really want to focus on that because it's super important. Let's identify what the heck you're going to do. Okay. What services are your absolute favorite to do that you feel as though you knock it out of the park, that you feel as though you personally could train anyone how to do it? What service is that?
100% interior and exterior wall or siding covering, painting, repainting.
Ooh, all right. That is a
So
great starting place.
Yeah, and that's what I focused on throughout, even when I started the business and when I talked to the
Let's get
contractors when
even
I
more.
first started
Let's get
working with
even
them. And
more. Let's get even more narrow though, because it's November
okay,
2nd. Okay. What's going to
yep,
happen right now? You're still, you haven't started your business yet. That's how I see it. You're
yep,
still in a position where you just have a job that you created. We need to get you a business. And, we really need to narrow even further, because
yeah.
right
Let's do
now
it.
you're to say that you're going to do exteriors right now without any, like, you got snow coming, bro.
Yeah,
you know,
Massachusetts, man,
so
Western Massachusetts. Yeah,
yeah. So you right now, I think that for the next 6 to 8 months, the only thing we talk about to customers is interior work.
gotcha.
Okay. Exterior is non-existent right now. Okay. You got
Yep.
snow coming. So Bengston Painting Company or Painting Services is an exterior, wait, excuse me, is an interior only company. Okay.
Okay.
Now
So
within this,
make it that,
no,
right?
no, no. But you make it that by what you allow,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
you're not going to get a bunch of exterior requests. Obviously, again, when it comes time to hiring, what are we going to focus on? We are looking for individuals that we don't care if somebody can climb a 60-foot ladder when we're hiring these individuals. We're caring about, can they fit within our interior box? I'm doing this for a reason, because
Gotcha.
if you narrow it down to this extent, it's going to be easier for you to acquire help, because you're not looking for people that can do exterior work, right? So that opens up your labor pool, doesn't it? Because if you
Yes.
have to have someone that's also skilled in exterior, what does that mean? That cuts your labor pool in half, because you might not have, people that
Mhm.
apply that can scale a 60-foot ladder and know how to sand and prep, 85-year-old siding from when, the guy rode the horse.
It is
Those
difficult,
types
yeah,
of
to do
houses.
that,
We don't
the
have those
repairs.
here, man. We have
Yeah.
stucco.
Yeah.
We have stucco, so it's a little bit easier. But up there, dude, you're expected to do restoration, aren't you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Cedar
Yeah,
siding. Yeah, even
restoration,
vinyl siding, man,
stand.
gets rough.
Yeah.
Vinyl siding
So
out here.
let the other guys who've been in business for 30, 40 years do that stuff, dude. Like,
Yep.
just, again, we're narrowing down. And what happens when we narrow down exactly what we do? That makes marketing easier, because we can tell our marketing company, or we can tell our marketer, hey, we only want you to advertise for interior painting.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's go even further. All right. So interior painting. All right. What are we going to do inside the house? Again, inside the house, you might get requested for wallpaper. You might want drywall done. You might want, they might have, I don't know, random things in the house that you want done. I'm going
Yep.
to teach you something, and you have, and again, I can do this because I have authority now, because
Yeah.
we're a prominent company here. I could do this. Hey Tanner, I want this wallpaper from you. I said, great. What I'd love for you to do is call this contact we have. I think they can help you do the wallpaper. We only do the painting. We only do the painting. Why? Because I don't want my guys having to waste their time doing wallpaper. I don't care how much they pay me. It creates stress. Imagine you're having a rough day on a Thursday working for Bengston Painting, and you're just thinking, man, I'm just going to go into my job, just going to relax, do my painting that I love to do.
Yep.
And then Max says, hey, man, I need you to remove that whole room, that wallpaper back there for me, brother. All right. Appreciate that. Dude, can you imagine like having to remove an entire room worth of wallpaper when that's not what you signed up to do?
I can
And you
relate to
have to
that.
figure,
Yeah.
and
Even
how did
just
it feel?
working with for myself, it's you're finishing a job, you kind of want to not relax during the day, but you kind of just want to dial in specifically on something. The customer comes over and says, hey, for instance, can you take that wallpaper down? It's like, oh Jesus, then you got to put your mindset shifting over to there. So
You got to go way up, right? And what
yeah.
we care about most as business owners is protecting the mindset, the morale, the energy of our team members. And that's a totally different conversation. But you're getting a glimpse of how I operate. It's like, I don't care about the money; it'll come. Like, if I
The
stay
well-being.
focused and narrow, it'll come. Like, I'm not going to get rich off of $1,000 wallpaper job. Like, that's not gonna. Yeah, I might make a grand, but what is the real cost? Like, a
Yeah.
frustrated employee, morale drops. They know I'm making a grand. They're getting their out. Nothing's changed on their hourly pay. I'd rather say, you know what, get that taken care of, and then we'll paint when it's done.
Mm.
And another thing is, we don't do any texturing. Why don't we do any texturing? Could we do texturing? Sure. We're not great at it. So I tell
Another
them, hey,
headache.
whoever removes the wallpaper, if they do texturing, have them do texturing. We don't do texturing. We just paint. Like we just paint. And I look at it like, how come in the trades, like it's so okay to like hire somebody to do other specialties? Like, would you do that in the medical space? Like if you went to the dentist, you know, and he was like, hey, I see you got a sore on your foot. You want me to handle that for you? I mean, it
I
doesn't make
got you.
sense, right? So what I want you to identify first, like as a business owner, is first of all, what are our boundaries? First of all, okay, so what are our boundaries? What won't we do? And what will we do? So I think like for you, obviously, we're narrowing down. You're a basic painting company, and that's not a bad thing. It's a really good thing. Every other painting company around you, unless they talk to me, is going to take random jobs. They're going to take popcorn. They're going to take drywall. They're going to take texturing. They're going to take all these things. That's just how people operate. I'm telling you the path of least resistance and the path of ease is to take ceilings, walls, trim, and door.
Focus.
That's
Yep.
it.
Yep. So
That's
just
it. Now, what happens when we have it?
implement
Okay?
heavy focus, right?
Heavy focus, like narrowing down.
Gotcha.
We're niching down. What does that do again? Now, how does that benefit our sales? Well, because now we know our pricing is going to be so simple
Yeah.
because all we do is take the same jobs over and over again. We're not stressing about costs and we're not stressing about materials
I
and
didn't think about
time.
that.
We know, hey, ceilings, wall, trim, and doors. That's all we're doing. What else does that do? Predictability. Okay, this is how you scale a business. You have to identify predictable outcomes so you can make better decisions and improve your processes.
I really
Right.
like
So
that one, dude.
yeah. So if I know, hey, all we're doing here is ceilings, walls, trim, doors. My guys have been doing the same thing for the last 3 months. I know they're going to get this house done in 3 days, so I can price the job perfectly, knowing that, okay, 3 days, this is how much it's going to cost me for 3 days with those guys. I know I can ask my crew leader, hey, how much paint you think it's going to take? I think it's going to be 25. You say, I think it's going to be 30. Cool. We'll quote it for 30 just in
Yep.
case. So now we know how much paint exactly we're going to use, right? Know our costs off the bat. We can mark up 50% and we can start pricing accurately instead of pricing randomly and maybe overshooting the price or maybe underbidding the price, and then being able to schedule with confidence. Confident scheduling is a huge sales strategy because customers who need the job done, they don't want to hear a general start date. They want to
Agreed.
say, oh, they don't want to go to you and say, I think I can get you the week of the 14th. And they got movers coming. They don't want to hear that you think you can get there. When I tell people I can come, I'll be there on the 14th. There's nothing that's going to stop me unless we get snowed in here in Florida, and they laugh every time I say that. you know, and
Yeah.
and I make it happen, because I want the job and I'm marking it up to perfection. But I also know, hey, this is what you're getting when you hire me is like certainty. You
Dude, I
can go
really,
figure out your other projects.
that's good. That's a, yeah.
But you know why? It's because I'm not taking a commercial high rise 2 weeks before that's going to cause chaos. I'm not taking an epoxy garage floor that's 2,000 square feet that I got to grind and sand. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking stain work. I'm not taking cedar work. I'm not taking random stuff. I only take what we're good at. There's enough of it,
Agreed.
and you get there. The way of the path of least resistance is paved with the word no. No, like no. That's the path of least resistance. Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason it's not easy to say no is because you don't know where the next job's coming from. That's why I said
Right now, yes.
Right now.
Another big point, it's like, I don't know. Okay, so where's the next job? Oh, there's a drywall job. I got a drywall tape. All right, I'm gonna learn to do it.
That mindset is zigzag.
I can't. Yeah,
zigzag.
No, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah. So, but you got to know these. I'm not saying that you're like, you may know some of these stuff. I just want to solidify the foundation here of like how you move forward, your thought process. Your thoughts are going to dictate how successful your company is, and that's what we're doing. We're just covering just a bunch of like basic areas to say, okay, like the next time you see marketing, I want you to see it in a certain way. Like marketing is a lever that when I pull it, it should generate leads. Sales is an opportunity to convert those leads that I get from marketing into paying customers. And as many reps as I get in sales, that's going to increase the amount of leads I convert, which decreases the amount of marketing I spend.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like you need reps. Like, so in other words, like, again, paying for marketing is going to be the next step. Like I'm telling you, we're talking hiring, we're getting there, but we're talking hiring first, but marketing is the other thing that a successful business owner needs to do in the beginning, like regardless. And I'm telling you, dig your well before you're thirsty. Like today, you should have an ad out for an employee. And now you might say, dude, you're crazy. I'm not ready for an employee. I don't even know how to pay them. I don't know what the heck. I don't have no jobs. You need reps, bro. And you can hire an employee. If you're working and you have enough work for you, you have enough work for one more person. 100%. I mean, we're talking about $150 a day,
Yeah, which
I know
is,
you're selling jobs enough to cover $150 a day.
I can swing that. Yeah.
You can swing that, but it's just the practice of working alongside someone, having the pressure of keeping that person busy is going to push you to make the tough decisions. So let's talk hiring strategy.
Yeah. That's the
What are
other
some
thing, Tanner,
questions that
staying
you have
busy.
about hiring?
What'd you say
What
again?
are what are some what are some questions you have about hiring? Anything outstanding?
So, I mean, I don't mean to sound redundant because everyone asks this, but it's how do I get qualified candidates? And another question I have for you is one of my dad's friends mentioned to me, he said, man, listen, when I hire, he has a lawn service company. He goes, every single one of my employees are college graduates. Tell me another lawn care company that has that. And I said, I can't. And he said, so they're qualified, they're smart, and that's why my business is growing because not only are they employees, but they want to grow with him as well. Not that people that don't go to college don't. I'm not knocking him, and there's people that are way smarter than me. But I guess it just brings it to that next level.
I
Or
think
even
that's really
someone that's been
cool.
qualified in the painting industry that would consider working for me.
Yeah. So
I mean, that was long-winded, but
I mean, no, it's not. I mean, I like that. I mean, if you're lucky enough to get enough of a college graduates to come work for your trade company, that's cool. I mean,
yeah,
great. I think that what it comes down to is why would somebody want to work for Bengston Painting Services? What do they get in return?
yeah,
And I
exactly.
think if the
So,
only thing that you offer when you're offering a job is money, you're going to get people that only value money.
mhm.
That's pretty simple, right? It
Oh,
is
that's
an
killer too.
exchange.
Yeah,
Whether we believe it or not, this is an exchange here. This isn't like you're doing anyone a favor by giving them a job. Like there's an exchange here. You are expected to give them money. They're expected to give you their time. To
mhm.
me, honestly, I think it's the worst trade in the world, but that's just the economy we live in. So by default, because I feel that way, I like to overcompensate. I don't just like to give money in exchange for time. I like to give atmosphere. I like to give, I like to give friendship, camaraderie, teamwork, environment. I like to give autonomy. That's my favorite thing to give, where I let people just do what I let them be humans and make human decisions.
I love
You
that,
know,
man.
um,
Yeah,
that's what I like to give because I know that not everyone's given that. I like to give praise. I like to give appreciation. I like to give raises. Like I like all that stuff, bro. I mean, honestly, because they're allowing me to live my dream. And when you have that sort of mindset when it comes to people, what you are doing is you are putting people on a plateau. And you might already be that type of person that wants to do that. The thing that you need to do is do a good job of conveying that to the market when the market is looking for an opportunity. And you
okay.
might say, well, how do I attract people like that? Because you're going to convey it in your advertisements, in the way that you conduct your interviews, in the way that you conduct your on-site or in-person interview, and the way you conduct your on-site interview. There's 3 interview stages, and again, just having the discipline to go through those channels is going to say to that individual, hey, this guy's serious. He's really investing in me.
Yep.
And I think that you got to identify what you're looking for. I mean, right now, it doesn't benefit you in any way to find somebody in a helper role. Like that doesn't benefit you, somebody that doesn't have any experience right now.
Yeah, I'd
Because,
rather have someone that has experience. Yeah,
right.
obviously.
So imagine you being in a position of your future employee and you find a company that just started. And dude, I can tell you're going to be I told you this the other day. You're going to be a heavy hitter. You're going to be a great business owner. You're not going to stop until you succeed. But I just want you to know that, like, I want you to picture yourself in a position of your future employee, and they
Yeah.
go to you as a future employee and they go through your interview process. what would be attractive to you? Because clearly you as a person, you're not going to be okay with just a role. Like you're not going to be okay with just being an employee and there's nothing
Yeah.
on top of that, right? You would probably want to be with somebody that promises you something greater than what you've had before, which to
Yes.
me would be a management role and somebody growing with you side by side to create systems, processes, and standards and giving you authority.
Dude, you're literally hitting the nail on the head. Like I want someone that says, "Hey Max, you know, I can work with you for a little bit, but I want to grow with you, man. I want to climb up the ladder with you, man. Let's go up the rungs. Let's do something, you know."
Authority.
And that motivates me as well.
Yeah, well, it's gonna force you to grow a better business if you have somebody that you're making a promise to, like, hey, I'm looking for a manager. I'm looking for somebody that can do these following things: communicate effectively with my customers and myself. Take ownership for on-site operations. Ensuring that we are using the best possible practices, creating the best possible experience. Like you need to identify that individual. And honestly, bro, like that's why I say start hiring now, because you might have to go through probably I don't know, 60 to 80 applications and then maybe 10 interviews to find that person, bro. Honestly, it's going to take, that's why I say like now's the time. You don't have time to do this when you're loaded with work, busy. I know you said you just locked in another job. When are you going to find time to do this? So that's what I'm saying. So in terms of creating the opportunity, you got to recognize that the best employees come from two places. Number one, they come from out of town where they're moving in. All right. And they need a place to work. So they're urgently looking for work. They don't like to sit on the couch. If I were moving to a new town and I didn't have a business, I would be that type of person. I am not going to I couldn't rest unless I knew I had a place to work. Okay. There's a lot of people like that. Okay.
Yep.
If you don't have an ad out right now, they can't find you, just like your customers. Your customers right now in your area, they want paint jobs done. Bengston Painting Service is not an option. That's a problem, right? And that's what we're working on in terms of marketing, right? But in terms of hiring, it's the same mindset. If you have people that are eager and wanting to work for someone like you, which, hey, there's somebody out there that's going to get a really good experience if they find you. Guess what? They can't find you because you don't have an ad out. You didn't hire ahead of time. You're not available for $5 a day on Indeed. Good investment, right? I mean, come on, but you gotta, right? So that's where we're at. But you got to also understand, hey, the second type of person, and this is where most of them come from, is from somewhere else. They're working for one of your competitors right now. And those competitors that they're working for, they haven't identified a way to keep that individual happy. And they could be paying more. Chances are that's what a lot of people in the trades believe that the exchange should be. Hey, I paid you, go do work. Appreciation doesn't really go around too much. Opportunity for advancement doesn't go around too much. Team atmosphere doesn't happen too much. Autonomy doesn't happen too much. So what are we going to put in our ad?
Yeah.
Those four things.
Yeah.
So we're going to put appreciate.
That's what differentiates you. I mean, like you just said, you're giving your employees benefits, different things to look forward to. Yeah, man, I want to do the same thing. I can't agree enough with what you're saying.
Yeah. So appreciation, autonomy, teamwork, advancement. Okay. I'm trying to make was it an acronym out of that? T.A.A.A. Teamwork, autonomy, appreciation, advancement. If you don't offer those things, you're not going to get people that care about those things.
Yep.
Go look at the ads that are being put out for painting contractors, okay, or painters. Okay. Go look at them when you get some free time. Look how horrible they are. Look at what they attract. They attract, hey, we're paying this much. Bring your tools and pulse. That's not going to work. The franchises could come into your town right now, like CertaPro, and they can get exactly what they need.
Oh, they
like
can take
without
over.
even hesitation.
Yeah.
They could just get the exact type of person you're looking for within a day, just because they have the process, they have the brand, they have the onboarding, right? Like you can create that. You don't have to be a freaking franchise to create that. You just got to care enough to put together the system, So That's what we want to focus on when we hire is what is that ad going to say? Who are we trying to attract, right?
Yep.
Now, last point here, okay? What happens when you get somebody, man? You got to know what to do. You can't just get somebody and be like, well, first thing, you got to have a payroll company, okay? Anytime we don't know how to do something, we find something or someone to do it for us. That's another major business principle of success, okay? If you don't know something and it's going to take you a lot of time to figure it out, or you're going to have to go to school to figure it out, i.e. accounting, bookkeeping, payroll, pay. Don't worry about it. Don't even think about the money, dude. Pay. So Gusto, I say them a lot on this podcast. I'm waiting for them to call me. I haven't gotten anything out of it, but it's okay. They're really good software, and I love them, man. They're great because what it does is it allows me to just set up my employees, and it creates a good experience for them. So if I were to hire you, Max,
Yep.
I'd say, great. I'm going to send you an email later today. My onboarding company will we'll have you fill out all the paperwork. And what it does is it sends you a nice welcome email, dude. And all the employees in the company can sign a digital card, and you get a nice welcome email. Yeah, it's awesome. And you fill out your paperwork, fill out your bank information. And the day before you start, it says, hey, your big day's tomorrow. It sends you an email. Like, dude, I got an HR department and it's, under $100 a month. So,
wow.
Gusto. And what you want to do, obviously, it's called Gusto, gusto.com.
Got it.
There's a link somewhere in the description of the podcast. And what you want to do is you want to get to a point where everything's set up to where somebody can come in and you can say, look, man, we want to remember our goal to get great people is to create a better opportunity. Many contractors aren't using a software like this, right? Some aren't even paying by the book, right? That's obviously something that's a non-negotiable. I don't talk to people that don't pay by the book.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Because it's not in the best interest of the employee, right? He can't get an apartment, he can't get a car, he can't get a house, he can't.
You have nothing to show for.
Yeah. So you think you're doing him a favor. Yep. Like you think like, oh, this is good. He's getting more money. Like it's really hurting him because he can't do anything productive with it, So again, that's another principle of mine. Like no matter, even if it hurts, you got to do what's in the best interest of your people. That's your job. Mm-hmm. So, with Gusto, they're going to get direct deposit. So that's something I bring up in the interview. Hey man, you're going to get direct deposit, and you have a little online portal where you can see your pay stubs, and obviously at the end of the year when you get your W-2, you'll see that, right? Really good things there. So it's all through Gusto, man. Yeah, oh, wow. I mean, it does it all for you. Yeah, so we want to set that up immediately, like yesterday. Okay. Now you got your LLC and all that set up?
Sole proprietor.
Sole proprietor. We want to get you to be an LLC immediately. So again, if we don't know how to do something, we pay someone to do it. Okay. Yep. You have two options. Do you have an accountant yet?
I do not have an accountant. I keep all my books on my Excel sheet.
Okay.
I'm sure it's not 100% professional, but
no, it's not. And that's the problem. Like I said, we have to get in the investor mindset immediately, dude.
Gotcha.
Like think, like whatever money you have, you're going to make more, bro. You're in a market right now where everyone needs like your service. So like, don't think about it right now. Here's some actions items ASAP. Number one, you need to go and call an accountant that is in your local area. Look up the reviews, call them, ask them to sit down for a consultation. See what they charge monthly to handle your bookkeeping and your accounting. Tell them you need to change your sole proprietorship to an LLC or an S corporation. Okay. You can't have employees as a sole pry. Doesn't work.
Dude, I have one question for you on that. Would you, if you were me or anyone else listening to this podcast, would you file quarterly or yearly? Annually, excuse me.
I do annually.
Okay.
Yeah, I do annually. Right. I mean, you're going to have to file reports quarterly.
Yeah.
But you don't have to send income tax. Like that's projected tax anyway. So, I mean, I don't do that.
Because I thought I'm following. Yeah. Maybe I misread.
You have to file a quarterly report.
Yes.
You just don't have to like your accountant will tell you, hey, you're projected based off of last year to pay this much each quarter. You should go ahead and do that. I've never done it. I'll just pay a lump sum at the end.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So, but where I'm getting at is that you need to sit down with an accountant today and say, hey, this is what I got going on. What we're doing is we're preparing for a skyscraper here, man.
Yeah.
Like that's what we're doing. Like that's the purpose of this is like, we're not working in our business thinking, hey, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to be $1 million company. I'm not going to invest in a bookkeeper and accountant. That's the money, man. You get the money messed up, you're gonna get crushed.
Yeah, you're out.
Gusto, without a payroll company or thinking that you could do it yourself, that's pretty much saying, I don't value my employees. So if that's what motivates you, what I just said there, get it done. Those three things, accountant, bookkeeping, and Gusto. Let's take care of those, because you're going to need, the accountant will file with the IRS to switch the classification for you. So that's why you can kill two birds, one stone. Go to the accountant, tell them, hey, I need to switch over my sole proprietorship. You can still sign up for Gusto though. Don't let that stop you. Cause again, like just go,
Okay, great.
Just put it in there. All right. Last couple points here, man. So are you, is this all in line, man? I mean, am I heading in the right direction with this stuff?
This is great, man.
Cool, man.
This is killer.
All right. So we got a couple more points I want to hit. So when we get the applicant, all right, you got to know what to do. Now I have a hiring course. Have you taken my hiring course?
No, I've looked at, no, you sent me the link.
Okay. I'm going to give it to you after this for free. You could take it today. Because if you actually take it and you do it and you implement it, you're going to get some applicants today, and that's what I want. I want you to like, don't think, just do. Like when it comes to like decisions like that, make the mistakes. Like, I have a hard time believing that if you actually found a great applicant that you wouldn't find work. I mean, how bad would that be for you? Like, because the cool thing about it is you can prolong it. You could say, okay, great. So, your interview's Wednesday. All right. And then your working interview is going to be next Tuesday. So you just gave yourself like 8 days to find a job for that person. So like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like so when you get that applicant, okay, a couple things are going to happen, right? You're going to read a bunch of applications. One thing that I suggest you do in my course, you'll see that there's a Google form that people fill out. Even hiring for Dripjobs, like, bro, and I forgot to do something like this, just like moving so quick. Like I got 250 applications for a customer success representative, for Dripjobs. I couldn't differentiate any of them because I didn't ask questions that gave me a glimpse of their personality, right? Simple question would be, and this is what's on my form for my painting company. Simple question. We're a company that, cares, we thrive in a team environment. What's a way that you think you would fit in with us?
Yeah.
Just like that, right? Elaborate. Okay. And then I'd have another question. Hey, we're all learning and growing each day. What's something that you learned recently? Right. So I have these two questions on there, and I won't look at anything in the application at all until I read those two questions. And if those two questions don't have some heart, some passion, just some care in the answers, I already know that, boom, next application. Okay. So that's why it's important to have questions like that in a preliminary application so you can identify who you're going to waste your time with. Okay. Gotcha. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. 100%.
When you get that, then it's a phone interview. Let me ask you this. When you were hired by your last company, what was that hiring process like?
It was, sit down or apply online, sit down, have a conversation. It wasn't really that personable, to be honest with you.
Right. And how did it make you feel?
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing, like I said, nothing crazy.
Are you married? Do you have a girlfriend?
Yes, I have a girlfriend. Yep.
Okay. Were you with her at the time?
Of the interview?
Yeah.
No, I was not.
Okay. If you were with her, do you feel like you would go home and actually like take her out to eat and celebrate after that experience?
No way.
Not at all, right? Because you felt what? Because when you went there, you were at this level. And then when you even got the job, you stayed at this level. Okay. Yep. What we need to do as business owners is we need to take someone who's at this level and make them feel when they leave that they just got to this level. Yeah. And all that is a little bit of perception. Okay. Because they still might be at this level, but I want them to feel that they're at this level. Okay. And that can come in a couple of different ways. And I try to look for ways to do that because I want them to ride that momentum throughout my company. When you started that next day, you weren't riding momentum. You're probably thinking about, man, did I make the right decision? I wonder if there's another opportunity out there for me that's better than this.
Yep.
We want to avoid that, dude.
Agreed, man.
And you can do that. Yeah. If you care enough, you can avoid it. So for me, One thing that I look for is, hey man, what is your pay expectation? That's a question I love to ask. What do you want to get paid? And if it's reasonable, I always raise it $1 no matter what.
Wow.
If
Yeah.
I know that it's true. And why do I do that? Because I don't want you to feel like you're at the same place. I want you to feel off the bat that you've advanced. Right?
I like that.
And I also want you to earn this job. So you have a process that you need to go through. And I emphasize it all the way through. I say, awesome, man. I looked at your application. It's great. Our next step in our hiring process is a phone interview. And I'm going to set that time with you. Let's do it tomorrow at 9:00. And during the phone interview, as I'm asking questions and they go forward and they do a great job, what do I do next? I say, hey, man, this was great. I'd love to invite you to the next step in our hiring process, the in-person interview, man. I'm really excited about you, man. I can't wait to meet you.
Like
okay.
That.
So we're what are we doing? We're building up, right?
Yeah. You're building them up too.
Building them up, So my thought is they're going to their significant other or family member saying, I got invited to the in-person interview. Like I want them to achieve this thing. Cause if you achieve something, you're much more likely to hold on to it than if you felt like you didn't achieve it. Right.
Yeah. I mean, Tanner, when you reached out to me through Facebook Messenger, remember I was telling you at the last meeting, I'm like, dude, I looked at my girlfriend. I was almost jumping up and down. You know what I mean? Because it's personable. It's personable. You specifically reached out to me and said, Max, listen, right. I want to help you out, man. Like, let's do this.
Even something like that, you know, I mean, hey, I'm just a normal person. I'm just saying, like,
no,
when
I'm
it
just,
comes to, like you can have that effect too.
Yeah. No, yeah. Appreciate that. Yeah.
No, because you are the business owner. Remember that. Like, you own the business. Imagine if you had 100 employees, right?
Yeah.
Just picture that. Like, you are the business owner. You created a business and you actually have the authority over whether or not somebody brings in money into their household. You can still be a friend. Like, that's the type of business owner. I'm a friend. Any of my guys can call me right now and say, dude, I got to go. I'd say, great, man. Take care of what you guys take care of. Okay. Like, you could call me at any time. These are my friends. Like, I love these people that work for me, man. Yep. Like they provide for my family, dude. They're allowing me to sit here right now. So they deserve my time. And you guys, anyone who listens to this, like, I'll give you any time you want. Like, I do free freaking coaching. Like, I care that much, I don't know. That's just who I am, but I think you're the same way. And
great. Yeah.
So where I'm getting at is in terms of that next step. Hey man, listen, this interview is going great. What I'd love to do is, hey man, listen, I'd love to bring you on for a working interview. We do this just simply to make sure that we're a good fit for each other, and I want this to be a team thing. Like, I don't want people to think like I have like some sort of power over them when they work for me like that. Like that is what they're used to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want there to be a little hesitation when they start to badmouth the company or be frustrated with their pay or, if they're having a rough day. I want there to be that little hesitation, like, damn, like, I should probably chill out, man. That other company I work for, there's nothing like this. I get to go in here and I don't have the pressure on my back every day. Like, that's how I believe it. And you will be successful with that. I have 12 employees, bro. They're great. And they take care of my customers, and I can be here because of that mindset. So adopt some of those principles. But action steps, man, I know we got to taper off, right? So teamwork, autonomy, appreciation, and teamwork, autonomy, appreciation, and there's another A there, man. I'm drawing a blank, but you get
accountability.
It. Right? We want to. Nice. That's what happens when you take notes. Accountability, right? So these are the things we want to pitch in our ad. I think you should go right to Indeed. Don't waste any time. Boost it for $5 a day. Okay. Get the ad out. Say exactly what you're looking for. Frame your company. Now, another action step for you is frame your production process. Okay. So obviously all you're doing now is interior painting, walls, ceiling, trims, doors, right?
Yep.
So what you need to do is you need to outline how you're going to go about it, how you're going to price it. Okay. What happens if a customer has a 2,000 square foot house and just wants walls done? What does your upsells look like?
Yeah.
Hey, would you like me to price you for the trim?
What did you say?
I said, would you like me to give you a quote for the trim?
Add a line item. No, but I have a customer, it's kind of like a customer disclosure form of how I price in some cases. So I have just
you give that to the customer,
letting them know how, like I just said, how I price. So surface preparation is one of them, is number one. So I explain to the customer if they have any questions, if the price is too high or too low, whatever. I point out, I say, the price is this because of the surface preparation. The baseboards haven't been cleaned and there's dog hair all over them and there's a bunch of dings and dents in them. I'm going to have to patch that. I'm going to have to prime it. I'm going to have to sand it, make it look really nice, and then paint it. Rather than if it was just a clean baseboard, right? 15-foot foyers are way harder to paint.
Building value. I love that.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah. I love the value. As long as you don't tell them the prices ahead of time with that, great.
Yeah. I mean, it's education, but I'm not like, hey, this is how the math is right now.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I love that. I just want you to know that there's a process in place, because here's the thing. We don't want to bring someone into our business and say, okay, well, this is how we're just learning how to do things. You could form that with this new individual that we're bringing on, because we do want that, but we want to make sure that we have some sort of standards that we've already created. So when someone comes in and say, hey, you know what? With trim, we tape it and caulk it. And we do that because we want consistency. So I can bring in anybody who doesn't have 20 years worth of freaking experience to be able to produce a good result. I don't care. Tape will do the job just fine. That's how we operate. So last thing I want to cover is, what are you going to pay this guy who comes in? And I'm going to build him up here. He has painting experience. He knows exactly what to do. Personable and friendly, drug-free. Okay. And you will run a background check, clearchecks.com, $39. So make sure you emphasize that in the beginning of the interview, that you're going to be running a background check. From there, what are you going to be paying this individual?
So if he can paint walls, in some cases, paint like I can, cut in, and be reliable, I'd say 20. I mean, this is kind of far, but $20 to $30 an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe we can meet in the middle and say 25 to start off. Yeah.
I think in your market, you got to be at 25 to 30. Yeah. In your market up there, like off the bat. But you got to remember, because you get legitimate, you have to have workers' comp. Okay. Yes. So workers' comp, you got to find out what workers' comp is. Don't play games without workers' comp, man. That's just it's like driving a car with no insurance. Like, how would that feel? It'd probably feel pretty, you'd probably be on edge. Like, people don't really know, the repercussions. Lawyers will eat you alive without workers' comp. That's what their job is. They're like sharks, and if they smell no workers' comp, they're going to come for your family. So I'm dead serious, bro. That's the whole purpose of it. If your guy falls off a ladder, breaks his neck, and there's no coverage for his medical expenses, guess where the lawyers are going to sniff? All right. Yeah. So
in your business, oh my God, that would shut the business off, right?
Yeah. We want to, yeah. So you have general liability insurance yet?
No, I'm getting a quote right now.
All right, cool. So you have a couple of things you need to do. General liability, find an accountant today, get on Gusto and put out an ad on Indeed.
Some people say Next Insurance too, Tanner.
It don't matter.
Okay.
Just as long as it's $1 million.
My girlfriend actually works for an insurance agency. She's doing the quote.
It should be between $60 and $80 for you a month. I mean, it shouldn't be more than that. If they tell you anything over 100, get a couple more quotes.
All right.
Cool, man. I think that'll do it today, man. What do you think?
That was awesome, man. So hiring, marketing, and get an LLC.
Pretty much, yeah. We got to get an
general
LLC.
Liability.
We got to hire. We didn't talk much about marketing. We'll talk about that another time. Sure. I think you just need to get some pieces in place. When you're ready for marketing, give me a holler.
For sure, man. This was great. And like I said, thank you for reaching out. I really appreciate that. This is big.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. I hope you're taking a run with it, man.
Will do, man. We'll keep you updated. We'll stay in touch.
Yeah. Well, you just jump on another session, man. I'm sure people listening want to hear the good news.
Sweet. Thanks, man.
All right, man. Dripjobs CRM is finally here. That's right. So Dripjobs is an automation platform for contractors, home service professionals that's going to automatically follow up with your customers. It's going to allow you to send invoices, estimates. It's going to allow you to send out blast marketing emails to individuals based on where they are in the buying process. This software is next level. And I'm reaching out to you. You're a listener of this podcast, and I want you to be one of the first ones to give it a shot. So if you want to see what Dripjobs can do for your business, I'd love for you to head over to dripjobs.com, sign up for a free demo, and get your team involved, and let us sit with you and show you how powerful this software is. It's going to save you time, it's going to make you money, and you're going to love the features that are built into Dripjobs. So if you want to check it out, head over to dripjobs.com, and we will give you first priority being a podcast listener to be one of the very first to try out Dripjobs in your home service business. I'm super excited to share that with you, and I'll catch you on the next episode.